Let's bring in James Dorsey. He's in Singapore. He's an adjunct senior fellow at the Rajaratnam School of International Studies. Good to speak to you, James. Since Donald Trump came to office, of all the different places in the world he could have chosen to launch his biggest military offensive, he's chosen half a world away to target the Houthis in Yemen. Is he doing that just to support the Israelis?
No, I think it's more complex. What he's doing is basically capitalizing on pressure points within a very complex matrix of Middle Eastern geopolitics. One of those pressure points is the relationship between Iran and the Houthis. Iran, despite its public support for the Houthis, despite its public support for the Hamas in Gaza, was really unhappy both times that the Houthis unilaterally launched attacks on shipping in the Red Sea as well as on Israel. With other words, the first time round in the wake of the October 7, 2023 Hamas attack on Israel and Israel's sledgehammer response with its attack on Gaza. And now again, after having halted the attacks both on Israel and on shipping as a result of the ceasefire in Gaza. And so that's one objective of this. The other objective, of course, is that the next target, if you wish, in the Middle East, or the next issue in the Middle East on Trump's agenda is Iran and its nuclear program. And this is a sort of softening up in the hope that as Trump's preferences, there will be a negotiation and a negotiated resolution of the nuclear issue rather than a military confrontation.
What I read most recently from the Houthis is the reason they were firing missiles is they were attacking Israeli assets or ships that would affect, eventually Israeli finance. And they said all they wanted was Israel to let in more aid into Gaza. What exactly do they want? Because it seems like a very simple demand to kind of adhere to instead of escalating a conflict.
Well, what I think this does is, and let's keep in mind, it's the Houthis have chosen to support the Palestinians and Hamas. That's a unilateral choice. And the attacks on Israel or on shipping in the Gulf are unilateral. Now, having said that, the Houthis basically have put themselves on the map. They have proven to be the last man standing almost in the Iranian-backed axis of resistance. Hamas has been severely weakened. Hezbollah in Lebanon has been severely weakened. The Houthis are at this moment the strongest force militarily in that axis of resistance, and they're taking advantage of that, both for the benefit of the Palestinians, although you can really question how much of a benefit that has produced until now, and for their own benefit.
James, how do they remain so strong, as you said? Because as well as being embroiled in a civil war in Yemen, they're under attack from Saudi Arabia, from the United States, from the UK. It doesn't seem to diminish their ability to militarily respond. How are they enduring through that?
Well, first of all, I think if you look at the last 18 months, despite Hezbollah and Hamas having been badly battered by the Israelis, they're still standing on their two legs, and they have not been destroyed. I think the same is going to be true for the Houthis. The Houthis control much of or a significant portion of Yemen. We've had a de facto ceasefire with the Saudis for a considerable amount of time now, and despite the fact that they've recently been declared again a foreign terrorist organization by the Trump administration, they have the support of the Iranians, and of course, in contrast certainly to Hamas, and now following the fall of Bashar al-Assad in Syria, in contrast to Houthis, Iran is still capable of arming one of its allied groups, namely the Houthis.
James, great to speak to you. Thank you for your time. James Dorsey from the Rajaratnam School of International Studies.